I'm Jessica Shin.
And I'm Michael Shin.
And we are the co-founders and artistic directors of the pianoSonoma Music Festival.
pianoSonoma is a unique music festival that brings together people from all walks of life. We have artists in residence who are young professionals at the cusp of their major careers. And we have our participants who are adult musicians, many of whom are non-professional musicians. These groups of people come together to collaborate, perform, and deepen their artistry throughout the 2 weeks of our festival.
The essence of pianoSonoma is really a bringing together of all sorts of different people to understand and delve deeper into how classical music is really put together, how a classical music performance is really put together through the participants' eyes, through a non-professional musician's eyes, through the artist in residence eyes in terms of how they interact with people who might not come from a conservatory mindset, and then also through the audience's eyes who are allowed into some of our performance classes and lessons and performances.
When an audience member comes in and sees what goes on at pianoSonoma, they get to see not just a performance, but they also get to see a masterclass situation where I or a guest clinician are leading a discussion of how a piece of music can be performed and can be improved upon. So they might then go to an actual performance of that piece, and having seen the inner workings of how it's put together, they deepen their understanding of the whole process and therefore appreciate the final performance that much more.
I think another unique aspect of our festival is that we really don't have a hierarchy of musicians or barriers between different kinds of musicians. I feel like everybody just comes together and plays music together. I think it's just a wonderful joy to see everybody coming together just to do what they love.
The level of instruction I received at pianoSonoma was world class. First, if you just read the biographies of the faculty, it's awe-inspiring. And secondly, when you attend a session with each of those faculty members, it's amazing. For example, I had a session with Peter. I was on the trio, I believe. And he was working on my part with me. And he just looks at me and says, "Oh, you broke my heart with that section." And that, you remember that. You remember, oh, I want to play that again so it breaks his heart and everybody else in the audience. So that's just, I could go on and on. As I said before, I learned something that is in my mind, one or two things from every faculty member that I worked with there. There is rarely a time in your life as an adult where you can go somewhere for an entire week and have exceptional instruction, meet new people who all have similar interests for the week. It's total immersion. It's immersion in a week that's just really classic and really amazing. The instruction is bar none. As I mentioned before, when you arrive and see your schedule, you're so excited knowing who you're going to be working with, the amount of time which you have to practice, which in day-to-day life just does not happen. You can perform as much or as little as you like in public, which is quite nice. And then lastly, it's an amazing social experience. You meet people from across the U.S. We have some fantastic wine. It's just a really, truly wonderful, engaging experience.
pianoSonoma is set in one of the most gorgeous places ever, so it's very easy to enjoy being there. But more than that, you get to work with a wide array of various different musicians who aren't necessarily musicians during their day lives. They come to pianoSonoma to learn from artists in residence and the piano faculty the intricacies of what it means to be a performer and a pianist, as well as other instrumentalists who also attend. As artists in residence, we get to work one-on-one with a lot of the participants. And in those sessions, in those one-on-one sessions, we really develop very strong friendships and very strong connections. This has led to many wonderful collaborations after pianoSonoma, whether it's just getting together to play music every now and then, or private lessons, or just hanging out and getting dinner. pianoSonoma really creates lasting friendships and lasting relationships between not only participants amongst each other, but participants and artists in residence.
My experience of pianoSonoma has definitely deepened and enriched my musical experience on many levels. I study also with Jessica Chow Shin, who is an outstanding teacher and pianist, and I regularly prepare for pianoSonoma. I feel even if I weren't to study with Jessica, it would definitely deepen it, and it would set my goals up a peg for what I want to play the following year. I definitely listen to music differently. I've learned a lot in this course just listening to my peers, going to concerts, listening to the young artists, and hearing this professional level discussion of their work, their parts, their voices, the intent of the music, their passion. So it's something I really carry with me day to day. I would say one thing about pianoSonoma is that it doesn't end when the session is over, where we carry on with salons, which are frequent in the fall. I have formed actually friendships from the group with members who have continued to come over the years. We have bonded through this effort, through the courage of the participants to play for other people, through the hard work, and through discussing the music as performers. So the relationships are rich.
One of the major challenges of running the festival is fundraising. We are cross-coastal, and just being able to support the entire operation of the festival is always a challenge. We have a very, very high caliber roster of artists in residence, and we want to make sure that we provide support to them as much as we can. Our concert offerings increase each year, and our number of artists in residence increase each year. So there's always, we just like to grow, and so that's one of the challenges as we pass our 5-year mark.
One of the ways in which we really want to expand pianoSonoma ultimately is by having satellite festivals in other amazing locations around the world. We're hoping to have one of those, maybe an extended weekend here in New York in the coming year or two, so that we can expand and extend our offerings to more people than we already do.
pianoSonoma has become such a huge part of our lives. We look forward to meeting so many new music lovers every year and maintaining the relationships that we've formed throughout the years.
It's definitely the highlight of our year. You know, we look forward to it so much for those 2 weeks every summer. And it really is an exciting thing year-round for us because we do have ongoing salons that we hold in New York. And so we continue the relationships that we've built throughout the year. And we look forward to forging new relationships with new participants, new artists in residence, and more audience members as well.